Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you can hear me and the mic isn't too loud. I do have to connect it. I don't have a wireless mic. I put the mic there. Hopefully it is in an okay spot, and I'm gonna be like, ooh, and my movement isn't too loud. And that the mic is in a place where you can hear me. So, if you've seen from the title, we are going to do a few Victorian Christmas crafts. So let's start with our first one. And I've been a little excited to do this one. And we are going to do pinprick cards. Doing Christmas cards in that era definitely was very popular. And so here is something that they would do. This is a very simple craft. And I did print off some templates from EnglishHeritage.com that talk about pinprick cards and some other Victorian Christmas crafts that you can do. These are a bit small, so we'll figure out what we're going to do. But first thing, get yourself a white piece of paper. This one is pretty thick. It's not just like printer paper. It's more like cardstock. And we're just going to fold it in half, hamburger way, you know, like a Christmas card. And then you'd want to stick your template on, but it's so small compared to the card. I think I'm going to do one where I can do multiple together. So I'm going to cut my template out. So I'm thinking about using the Christmas ornament template. There's also one with a wreath, stocking, Christmas tree. This other one has a gingerbread man, candy cane, mittens, and like a sleigh with presents. I'm thinking about the ornament and the candy cane. I would love to do the Christmas tree, but I feel like doing multiple of the candy cane and ornament makes the most sense. When you do your template, this is would be the front of your card, and that is your inside. You want to put your template on the inside card, in the inside of the card. And so I'm thinking, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I need to get another camera so I can have an overhead shot. But I'm thinking about doing like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Might even do the same thing with, or I can do that. Something like that. Let's go for the ornament first. So I'm going to take the ornament, and I'm just going to take some paper, some chip bag clips to clip my template down. These modern conveniences. Oh, you want something to put under it to poke. I kind of forgot about that aspect of needing something under it so you can stab through it. I would opt for cardboard, but I don't want to get up to go find some cardboard, so I'm just using another piece of paper, and hopefully I don't have a bunch of pokes in my table. So the next thing you're going to need is a push pin, some kind of pin. I'm opting for a push pin. I chose this one because it's easier to hold. And then you'll just go around and stab your template all the way around. So I've got some cardboard, and I'm going to cut a piece. So because our template isn't very big, I just cut 2 pieces. And I'm gonna put that right under there now. And then take our pen and start poking all around our template. Leave some space. I mean, don't put your poke holes like right next to each other. And it's a bit time consuming. I mean, you are making just a bunch of little holes. So let's speed this up real quick. All right, so there is our first pinprick. You see there? I am going to continue because why not? All right, 2 more to go. All right, I'm done with number 2. think they're actually coming out pretty cool looking. Right, and now I'm going to do one more to complete this. I thought maybe I was going to do 2 cards because I thought this would be very quick. It is not, and my hand is starting to cramp, but I'm determined to do that last bulb on the bottom. So we're going to do that real quick. So I think it still looks all right. But yeah, my first one definitely was the prettiest, but also took the longest. So now let's finish off this card. I'm going to take some red ribbon. And you'll want enough to put it all the way around and be able to tie a bow. So I always cut off a little bit more than what I think I'll need. So we're going to go ahead and put that ribbon on the inside, like so. And then we'll just go ahead and tie a bow right here in the front. Right, there's our bow. You can keep it long, make it short, make it a nicer bow than I did. I think I'm going to make it a bit of a shorter bow, a little bit of a smaller one. Let's nip off my ends. Yeah. And then there's that. We've got a Victorian Christmas card, basically. Very simple, but I think very elegant looking, even though it was just, you know, whatever. I would make my bow a little tighter though, but yeah. That's what this looks like, and it's blank on the inside. You can go ahead and write whatever Christmas messages you would like, but super easy, and I think it looks super cool. The next one is a bit funny, and it's because I wanted to do some gilded walnuts. I always seen those everywhere. That was the first one on my list when I knew I wanted to do some Victorian crafts, because that was the one I already heard of. Unfortunately, I was unable to find some walnuts, and I don't want to go back to the store and look for more. So I was like, well, maybe I can use a different nut. And I have a pecan tree in my backyard. So I was like, let me go see if I can find some pecan trees. Some pecans. So let's go scavenge for some nuts real quick. So like I said before, they are normally made with walnuts, but I don't have walnuts and I don't feel like going to buy walnuts. And like I said, I want to try and make these crafts with things I already have in my house. So I don't have walnuts, but I do have a pecan tree in my backyard, and this is what she's looking like because of, you know, winter coming around. It looks more like fall, but you know, Texas. So I'm gonna scurry around and see if I can scavenge some walnut or some pecans that have not been eaten or buried by squirrels yet. So let's go. Here's one. Maybe another. I don't know. Look, this one's nice, but kind of small. I might bring those in though, actually. Find some nice ones. And the leaves. Hopefully not eaten. I'm actually finding quite a bit not eaten. Some of these might be rotten on the inside though. Oh, like, see, this one has been nibbled on. This one has not been nibbled on. All right, so I have my nuts, and a lot of them were fatal, and I cracked them, and they weren't usable for what I needed. I was using the back of the kitchen, whatever, and then I dropped one on the floor, and it kind of split perfectly in half, except it's not fully open right now. So I'm gonna take a little knife. It's dull, don't worry. And it wedges right in there. And so I'm gonna see if I can separate this in half as perfect as I can. It's not completely perfectly in half, but I think it'll do. See, the little bottom messed up a little bit, but that's fine. This is a pecan tree. These are pecans. So they are perfectly able to be eaten. And I'm so glad this one's not rotten. A lot of the ones I pick up to kind of forage in my backyard are already rotten or have holes in them, be from the animals eating them. That's pretty good. All right, this is another funny thing. Because I couldn't find walnuts, I thought I was just going to scratch this off my list of crafts. So I did not buy any gold flakes or gold foil or anything that you're supposed to do it. Traditionally, you use a walnut, and I would coat it in glue and then stick some like gold foil or gold flakes on it. I don't have any of those, so we are truly compromising, and I'm going to use some gold paint on it. I don't know, I have this antique gold. Don't need a lot, that's already way more than I probably need. And then I have some Inca gold. It is more of a bright gold. I don't know which kind of gold I want to use, so I'm going to try them both out. Let's get a paintbrush. And I'm going to start painting. I'm going to start with the antique gold. Let me try the bright gold. Oh. I think I like the look of the antique gold. So I'm going to go ahead and coat this thing in the antique gold. So ideally, I would like to set this aside, let it dry, and give it another coat so it's a little bit more gold. But for the purpose of this video, we're gonna go ahead and move on. With these, they would put either messages, words of affirmation, sometimes jokes inside of these walnuts. And so we're gonna do that real quick. I'm going to use our template paper, because it's got to be pretty small to fit in the walnut anyways, and especially the pecan, because the pecan's a lot smaller. So I'm going to just cut a long strip, and we'll go ahead and write a message inside. I didn't bring a pen, so let's paint a little message. You would take this little message that you wrote. I wrote love yourself. I painted love yourself, because I think we all should learn to love ourselves. I feel like a lot of people struggle with that sometimes. So then we'll just roll this little thing up. Like such. And then you can take some ribbon. I'm going to use a scrap of that red ribbon from the first craft we just did. And I'm not even tying a knot, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just crossing it right over, cutting off the extra. So now we have a little message here, tied up in a little red string. And then you go ahead and you just stick it right inside of the nut. Then you'll take some glue. I'm using some E36000 glue. You can use whatever glue you would like. Ideally, I'd like to use clear, but I brought white with me for some reason. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge of the nut. So now before we close it, I'm going to take a piece of string, basically the one the other half of the extra string from our first craft. And we're just going to tie a little knot at the end of that string. Hi, Mizuma. Accidentally frayed it a little bit. But yeah, just tie a little knot at the end of the string so you have a little loop. And then you're going to want to put that in your nut, just like that. And then you go ahead and glue Flush stick your two halves of your nut together. Just like that. So then you'll have, it's a little ornament you can hang on the tree, and it's a little gilded walnut, or gilded, or gold painted. It smells like paint and glue, Miss Emma. You have a little golded painted pecan. These are so much more prettier when they're walnuts and they're in gold foiling. Obviously, they're a lot more brighter and shinier. But yes, that is our second craft. Moving on to our next craft, we are going to make some paper medallion ornaments. So I thought to do this instead of just some plain white paper, I printed out some sheet music to Winter Wonderland. And you're going to take this paper long ways and start accordion folding it, if that makes sense. Just look what I'm doing. So folding it up about, I don't know, an inch. Is that an inch? I turn it around. This is just how I do it. Fold it up again at that same mark of where you folded it last. And that is an accordion fold. And you just repeat it all the way until you get to the top or bottom of your page. Right, now that you have it folded, it should be accordion-like. You know, there's the top of it, and it should be all folded together. So if there's any extra overhang, if it's not an even fold and you have like a long piece at the end, like this one's a little bit longer than I would like, you can go ahead and just cut off a little extra on the end. It really isn't gonna matter. Now that we have this, we're gonna take some string, and by string, I mean something a little different than the red string we've been using. So I'm actually going to take this black thin string. It is waxed cotton string used for like sewing leather together. So I'm just going to take a piece of that, cut that. What we're going to use the string is you're going to take your accordion piece and you're going to fold it in half, like such. So there's your accordion piece, just fold it right in half. And so at that fold, we're going to take our string and we're going to tie a knot around it. So, just like this. I'm going to make sure it is right at our knot, or at our fold, I mean, sorry. So there's our knot. I like to go around to the back and tie a knot on the back. You don't have to do this, I just like to. And then we cut off our extras. Now, since we have that tied, we can go ahead and pull our two pieces together here. And you're going to want to glue or tape them together like that so they stay together. And again, I'm just going to use my 3/6000 glue because that's what I have on hand. I'm just going to add some little dabs of glue. Right. And you just fold it closed. Make sure it's where you want it. Fold it closed. Just hold it and let it dry. Once it dries, you should be able to open it up like this. And you see it's about half of a medallion. So you do have to make two of these, and luckily I have made two. This is our one we just glued together, so it's a little fragile. But basically you do the same thing. Your ends on the sides here, you'll just go ahead and glue those together, and then these two sides, you'll go ahead and glue together to make a medallion. So, add some glue. Okay. And like pinch these ends together so that they'll dry. So while that's drying, we're going to work on the rest of our medallion. This is a quite big one. You can make smaller ones. Just cut your paper in half. But yeah, this is a quite big one. So What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this red cardstock and I'm going to cut a circle. Right, so I'm going to use this cup. I didn't bring a pen, but you'd want to mark around your cup. I'm just scoring it with this push pen because I didn't bring a pen. And then you'll cut out your circle. Oh, using that kind of serrated it and is giving me pretty much a perfect freaking circle. That's crazy. So cut out a circle and then we'll move on. Hopefully this is fine now. And you'll glue your circle right in the middle of this medallion. But I'll glue that down and then I'll take something in the middle that I think would be pretty. Like you can add a sticker. I have some old Christmas cards. They're not vintage, they're just old Christmas cards I've had to kind of keep in with that aesthetic. Do I cut this? Do I cut this? I kind of don't want to cut this. I think this would be prettier and kind of fits the more of a vibe of the Victorian era, but I don't know if I'm ready to cut this one yet. I do think this is a really pretty card. I'm not going to cut that. I'm going to cheat. And we're going to use a sticker. And we'll just put a little sticker there. I do think, actually, I'm going to take some gold paint and put some gold around the edges. And I'm going to take, again, some of our red ribbon, cut some off, and then you'll turn your thing around and you'll glue or tape or whatever. I'm going to use tape now. I just have some packing tape, but you can use kind of tape because I think it'll just be easier for one, and then I can fastly show you the end result. And there we go. We have a paper medallion that you can hang as decor. You can make small ones and hang them on the Christmas trees. I mean, you can hang big ones on the Christmas trees. And that is our paper medallion. For our next craft, we can be a little bit more creative, I guess, in your own way and design-wise. We are going to make paper cornucopias. So basically, we need a triangle that we can fold into a cone. My favorite way to make a cone is literally make a cone with our paper and then make some cuts. That's how I want it. I want it not completely flat, if that makes sense. Like I want the back to be higher than the front. Here it is. We have our triangle with a dome shape. The triangle's a little off, but that's fine. Whenever you fold it, you can cut it and make it look however you would like. Before we fold it, it's easier to decorate first, so let's go ahead and decorate it. I've got some vintage clippings that show some Christmas-y things, right? Like an ornament, that's Christmas. I don't know, this word that said beauty I thought was nice. This girl looks like she's holding a Christmas tree. This thing that says Christmas. So let's go ahead and start making some things, right? So I had to get up real quick because my camera stopped recording, and good thing I got up to check. So you missed a little bit, but not a whole lot. So I said I had some leftover Valentine's Day stickers, and I just kind of put it all over, glued all the other things down, and I think I'm good with this. So now I'm going to take some tape long enough for one whole end, and I'm going to just tape down this end, and we're going to start folding in our paper cornucopia so that it's meets just like that. And we'll go ahead and tape it down. And if you have a little hole at the bottom, the tape covers that hole. Here's our paper cornucopia. Honestly, it should be this way, like the back should be up, I believe, but that's fine. Moving on. So now we need a handle for our cornucopia. And so I brought a bunch of different choices of ribbon for decoration or for whatever we're gonna do. And this one, they all have a wire in it. You could use some pipe cleaners, but like, so you can even decorate the ends here. I'd staple them down, but I don't have any staples. So I'm gonna make a little handle to go in here, about that big. I'm gonna cut our ribbon, and I think it'd be easier to staple this in. I don't have my stapler with me, so we're just gonna tape it in, because like I said, that's what I have. It's not that hard to do. So just gonna add some tape to our end here, and we're gonna add some tape on the inside and just tape it on the inside of our paper cornucopia, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now you could stop there, you can keep going, add a lot more decor, like add some ribbon around like that, make it even prettier. I think I'm gonna stop there. And so this is our last craft. This is our paper cornucopia, and they would put in like nuts and fruits, gifts, and you can also hang these on the tree, and yeah, you would just put gifts inside of them. Like I said, nuts and fruits were a very big thing for Victorians during Christmas time. I mean, that's why you'd always see, you know, giving oranges as presents. But yeah, you could put some nuts and fruits in here and be on your merry way. I have some leftover pecans, so we just add some nuts in there. There you go. This was our last Victorian Christmas craft. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it and finding out about these crafts. Let me know what you think. Let me know which one is your favorite and which ones you would like to try. I would definitely like to do these again and actually have some better things and make them look a lot nicer, I guess. So with that, I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Merry Christmas. Bye.